This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com.
Previously on TV Tuners, episode 1 through 99.
Who is the fourth host?
Destinies will be forged.
4 freshly dug graves?
No ascension, only damnation.
Men shall become demons.
Swanson is the 100th Blood Moon child.
And now, TV Tuners 100 is revealed.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson.
That's right.
With me, as always, is the George Costanza to my Jerry Seinfeld, Stairmaster.
Hey, they run out of you at the ugly store or something? Wait, no, that's not how it goes. Fuck.
No, I don't think that's how that went.
Shit.
Yeah, and with us as always for this momentous occasion is our other co-host and our wacky next-door neighbor, Keoran.
Hey, what's up, guys? Did you check out my voicemail message?
Yeah, it was heartwarming.
Who was the wacky next-door neighbor character on Seinfeld?
Kramer?
Oh. Why didn't you just say Keo's Kramer?
Because then you would have made some reference to his tirade, and then we would have... Anyway, welcome to a momentous occasion here, episode 100. It's a big old celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration time, come on, Dad.
Yeah, and that's all we can legally sing.
Now, I made a promise to you guys.
Oh,
I brought a delicious cake.
yeah. Let's crack that bad boy open.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Why don't you go ahead and dig in on that, Swanson?
Ugh. Keo, this cake is revolting.
Well, you don't like my ranch barbecue cake?
No, that's a terrible combination of, well, I guess anything.
That's for meat type substances. Cakes are supposed to be sweet. Maybe lemony.
This is sweet. Barbecue sauce is sweet.
It's a little spicy.
There's a little
I
kick
would have
to
preferred. I might have preferred like a cranch cake.
What's a cranch cake? I know
It's
what
ketchup and
ranch is, but...
ranch.
Ugh!
It's a Boston thing, I think.
Oh.
Well,
They might have it in Hightown.
You know what?
Well, I almost got a tomato crunch cake, but they were sold out, so I got this.
Wait, you
What store did you go
almost...
They selling this at
Bing
Kroger?
Bong. No, I went to Bing Bong's.
You went to...
That must be a West Coast chain because I'm not familiar.
So it's a real location. There's only one. You have to go down the alleyway.
The alleyway.
I don't think that's a store.
You talk to Craig from Craigslist.
I don't think there's a Craig associated with Craigslist.
And I wouldn't want to talk to him either way.
Yes.
Why would there not be a Craig associated with Craigslist? It's Craigslist, and I talked to Craig.
Okay, fair enough.
So I know that we've all been getting hyped up, and
Yes.
there's been a lot of like mysterious things going around about what could be happening for this episode. Well, let me set the record straight because we've got a very special guest with us here today.
Oh my god!
Should I say host?
Huh?
The fourth host?
Hey guys, I'm really happy to be here again, and I can't wait to be the fourth host. I think this is going to be a really good choice, and I can't wait to bring my unique perspective to the TV Tuners crew.
Wow.
That's
I can't
right.
believe it. It's Elle.
Yeah, Elle's
she's-
our fourth host on TV Tuners.
Wow.
Are you guys excited?
She's even got the official TV Tuners bulletproof vest. Wow. This is going to be a blast. Oh, no.
I couldn't even see the attack.
Guys,
Cold. Oh, it's so cold in here.
where are we?
Oh, my head. Swanson, what did you do? This is the worst surprise you've ever come
Why
up
are my
with.
wrists bound?
I didn't plan this. And also, why is Stare the only one with his wrist bound?
Oh, I'm tied up.
Greetings,
That's
TV
essential.
Tuners crew.
Whoa, a mysterious figure's on that giant TV that's in front of us.
Ah,
To the TV Gauntlet.
what?
That's right. You thought you were going to have a regular episode 100. You were wrong.
No, we want it to be a special occasion.
I have been watching you, waiting
Oh?
for this moment.
Well, it's glad to hear. We love
I
being
love-
talk to our fans.
Yeah, I love fans.
No,
Are you the guy who threw the brick through my window?
maybe. That's not important, though. What's important
Did you
is
leave a
that...
bullet in my mailbox?
Listen, it's not important. What's important
Are
is
there
that...
any doors or windows there?
Don't worry about it. It's not important.
Did you send me those salacious text messages?
Yes, but that was just because I was lonely.
Oh, I understand.
Anyway, the point is that you will be going through a gauntlet 4 television shows. You'll be watching. No segments. No bits.
4
Only
programs.
TV. That's right. And you must rank them in the correct order or you will perish.
I think I'd rather choose death.
The correct order?
Correct order?
Yeah, what's that?
Do not question me.
Are you saying there's some
What?
kind of objective way to rank these programs?
That's right. And it's my objective opinion, which is fact.
Oh, okay. Well, we're experts, so we're gonna crack this, right, Swanson?
Yeah, I'm confident that we can do this. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
We've reviewed over 99 TV shows plus 1 anime for
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Got this.
Yeah, hit us with your worst.
You will begin shortly, and then you will record the rest of the podcast. There will be a break in the middle for you to go to the snack bar. We'll get it in the corner.
Oh, that'll leave plenty of time for some fun segment that Swanson has prepared.
No segments.
Oh,
What the-
wow.
Okay, what about the
This is very
latest
harsh.
TV news?
Also, that snack guy in the corner is just a dude carrying a box of Junior Mints.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Do not ask questions about Frank.
Frank?
Do we know a Frank?
Okay, I'm not curious at all about him, actually.
Should we worry? Should we be worried?
Hey, Frank, you know this is a crime, right?
Do not ask questions about Frank.
Ow, he threw a peanut at me.
Wow, you got peanuts in there too?
And it hit me in the eye.
Who knows what else he has?
Well, let's get started on these TV shows so we can get to the snack bar, huh?
That's right. Let the gauntlet begin.
Alright, so we're back at it after having watched the programs, and I guess now we're gonna record them. We haven't really heard back from that voice since we started watching, but Frank has been eyeing us suspiciously.
He's looking a little testy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dehydrated.
Yeah, me too. He doesn't have any beverages, just that box of Junior Mints, and I guess peanuts somewhere in there.
I'm really parched, you guys. I think
Guys,
I
are
might
we
die.
gonna have to pull a Jimmy McGill here? Drink our own pee?
Well, I
hope it's
can't.
not
My
that
hands
dire.
are bound.
Why can't you do that, Stairmaster?
Because I can't take my pants off without my hands.
I'm not taking them
yeah,
off
that is a
for
problem. Yeah, we're not touching you,
Ugh.
filth boy.
Continue talking about the program.
Oh,
you. Oh man, no bits either?
No bits.
Oh, I don't think people want to listen to this if we're... Okay.
alright, I guess we're just gonna talk about what we watched. All right, well let's get into it then. This Gauntlet thing happened, and I guess we're just gonna roll with the punches, guys. So this first show we watched is called Hightown. It stars Jackie Canones as a National Marine Fisheries Service agent in Massachusetts who abuses alcohol and drugs and ends up finding
and pussy too.
Finds the body of a murdered woman and gets launched into an investigation with some police officers. Hightown can be found on the Stars Network, our first Stars program, by the way.
Oh, really?
And I'm sure it's available online somewhere. Who knows? Hightown, executive produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes.
Of Bad Boys and other things. Right there?
Yes, The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of.
Also, the CSI franchise, if you want to get into TV.
Oh, I don't want to get into TV, you know that.
No, what was that, Keo?
The show starts off in my favorite way by introducing two characters who are not likable.
Oh, you don't like these women?
No, not at all. Do you?
I'm impartial.
Well, one of them does, spoilers, I guess, immediately gets shot in the head, so...
Well, yeah, that's just like crime procedural 101. That if a crime show opens up with two women talking, one of them is going to be murdered. Especially if it's nighttime.
Yeah. Now, what we do open up with, Keo is right, these characters are sort of unlikable. Especially since the lady who's driving the car and eventually gets murdered immediately takes out a thing of fentanyl and says, "For cancer people."
Yeah.
So that's good.
Oh, her heart's in the right place.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is she doing it in honor of cancer people?
No.
Maybe.
I don't know. But either way, though, this is probably the last way to get me invested in a crime is to make me not like the person who got murdered.
Were you, like, justified at the end? You were like, oh, that's good.
No, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it was also super quick. She shows up and then it's just like, oh, that guy did it.
I'm like, I wrote that down. Inciting incident right there. There it is.
Yeah, I just felt sorry for this lady whose brains were addled by chemical abuse.
Yeah, it's...
I couldn't make good decisions anymore.
It's odd. And then we get into the exciting world of fishermen's services.
I was digging this. I always love a good nautical romp.
Yeah, I do actually appreciate that our main character is not, like, standard police. She just works in fisheries services. That's good.
Yeah, she's like, look at this lobster. This is unacceptable. This lobster is unacceptable. I'm going to have to write you in for this lobster.
This is acceptable?
Also, they're in Massachusetts, so this guy's like, come on, you can't write me up for the lobster. Come on.
It's an honest
What was
mistake.
on those planes? Things would turn out different.
So she hangs out with this old guy who's her partner. What's his name, like Ed or something?
Fuck if I know.
His name is Ed.
I couldn't name any of the characters on this show.
So her and Ed are like a gruff twosome, and they talk about this lobster, and apparently one of her friends is the person on the boat that she reams out. Although they give him a warning, move on, because it pays to be friends with police officers, even ones who are barely police officers.
Yeah.
Well, they can still ruin your livelihood.
Well, yeah.
And probably murder you.
And if they drown you out there in the ocean, no one's going to know about it.
Yeah. The body cam footage will disappear.
Well, yeah, they do give us a helpful tip for if you're getting rid of a body later in the episode.
Yeah, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my days.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
So then we get...
You never know! Wink.
We hear there's like, I guess it's like some big like party time event going on in Boston on the Cape Cod. And that means it's gay time.
Oh yeah, these people seem like they're having a great time.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Someone gives her a bathroom key that's on a dildo. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
They're partying, drinking, she's doing cocaine. There's all kinds of LGBT in town.
Yeah, it's
what
great.
about the Q, Keo? No Q?
Okay, LGBTQ in town.
Yeah, Q was here, Keo. And
what about the plus? No plus, Keo?
Listen, I think the acronym is fine.
Oh, what about intersex people, Keo?
Yeah.
Like, do I need to like look up the entire acronym
Yes.
of every single possible inclusion?
No bits.
Oh, whoops. Anyway.
Yeah, so yeah.
So she goes back and meets her friend at the bar, and
You mean the guy who looks like Adam Sandler?
Thank you. I have it in my notes that his name is Junior. I said Junior has Adam Sandler energy.
Yes, he looks like him and sort of sounds like him.
He really does sort of sound like him, especially in the scene where we see him talking at, I think it was like an AA meeting or something, or like a Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah, if you squint, you will see Adam Sandler on your screen.
Yeah, which is weird, because I don't think he's from Boston. Adam Sandler, I mean.
Maybe I should go look it up.
I really don't think so, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Wrong. Anyway,
Adam Sandler was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, this guy's got massive Sandler energy. So they tell this. He tells this story, I guess, to break in this new bartender guy. Where he's like, the story pretty much boils down to, could you imagine sucking a dick?
Imagine if you would, a man's penis in your mouth.
And the guy's like eyeing him up, like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, I'm just joking with you, man. Stop being a homophobe. And I was like, isn't the story kind of homophobic?
It's okay. He's got homophobe privilege. He's got the homophobe pass.
Oh, yeah, because he's friends with a gay person.
Because he's gay, I think.
Junior?
Yeah, I assume he's gay because he just told a story about giving a blowjob.
Yeah, but he said it wasn't true.
Oh. Well, I said the getting money part wasn't true.
Maybe. So yeah, Jackie goes around, has some more parties, meets a lady.
Yeah, hard cut to lesbianic sex.
Mm.
And she goes straight from pussy to mouth, which I'm not sure if that's good or not.
I think that's like king shit, queen shit.
Okay.
People shit.
Wow, Swanson Sex Opinions Corner.
So anyway, we get to the horrors of finding a body when you're like half awake at 6 a.m. on the beach.
Hungover.
Yeah. It's not great.
It doesn't seem like a lot of fun. It seems like it was mildly upsetting, probably.
Yeah, I feel like if I found a body that had also been in the water for a while, I probably would not be happy about it.
I get the impression it might have fucked her up a little.
Yeah. So then we get introduced to Boston Guy.
Yeah, I was completely confused. I thought we were going to have a completely different protagonist for a second.
Yeah, this guy, his name is Detective Ray Abruzzo. And
this show falls into the trap we see fairly often in these shows, where the first episode needs to jump from character to character. So I don't know if we don't get bored.
And it's weird because like, it's not that like the stuff with Jackie's like boring or bad. It's actually kind of okay. It's just that it's like superficially connected at the moment in this first episode to the actual murder mystery. So it's like at a certain point in the show, I was wondering when they were going to tie it back together to the actual murder mystery, which they do by the end, thankfully. Point. But like in the meantime, we have to stick around with Detective Ray and his funny black sidekick Alan.
I do like the fact that every cop of note in the show is just a complete shitbag in some way.
This dude is a shit, the shittiest bag of shit possible.
He's like Vic Mackey without the charm.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's like if Vic Mackey had an intense Boston accent.
If Vic Mackey was racist.
Yeah.
Like super racist.
I was gonna say a little bit.
Like low functioning racist.
Yeah. So him and his detective buddy, his partner, they go out, investigate this body. They have the only interaction in the episode with Jackie, where he's like, thanks for the info. He's like, hey, you mind telling me what happened? She's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, all right, thanks. So then immediately upon seeing the body, he realizes it's a witness and a crime boss.
Yeah, he's
that
like,
he captured.
Oh no, here we go.
Yes. No,
and he just runs away without his partner. And does the guy even show up again?
No, he just ceased to exist. He's just stuck there with that ambulance driver.
He just goes invisible.
He died that day.
He's like healing, what's his name in Breaking Bad?
Yeah, he's just waiting there.
He's just still at the beach.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like Fry's dog.
We get a lot more partying in this one. Jackie's like, maybe overcompensating for the fact that she saw a dead body.
Also, we get a brief scene with her flamboyantly queer landlord, who kind of reminds me of the Dean from Community.
I love this quirky landlord trope they've got going in these shows.
Yeah, that's aged well right now, I think.
I think they're doing this in preparation.
Do you think like landlords are in the writer's room?
Yes. I think they're lobbying to get good representation because they know what's coming.
You think they very, very rapidly added these to scripts?
Yes.
Really quick?
Yes.
And it's not just them leaning on a tired trope, which is that the detective character goes into like their apartment and the landlord's like, rent's due.
Maybe.
Like, they even do that in Spider-Man. Remember Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? They have in the second one, I think, they have his landlord be like, Parker, rent!
That's the way you make the protagonists relatable, show that they need money.
Yeah, they too have to deal with shitty landlords.
Yeah.
So then we get a meeting with Ray and this crime lord, Frankie, I think is his name.
Yes, this reminds me of the 4th season of The Shield. Where the guy's in prison. Or the 5th season where the guy's in prison and Vic Mac is constantly hitting him up.
Only less compelling, probably.
Yes.
So yeah, this conversation's like a big nothing for me. Like, it's a lot of him being like, hey, I'm the guy who put you away. Isn't that something? Hey, what if I pay a visit to your wife? How would that make you feel?
Were you guys sold on this crime boss here, guys?
No. He seems like a normal guy.
Like, when he said he was innocent, I actually believed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's like, I didn't do anything. Like, oh, so he's...
I guess by the end we're not supposed to believe him, right? But like...
Right.
When he said he was innocent, I was like, yeah, this guy's innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he didn't, like, break the facade, I would have believed him the whole way through.
But, like, the writers position him like he's a Wilson Fisk figure who's just like, hello, Detective Ray. I've been waiting for you.
Exactly. I can tell in the script they wanted this guy to have, like, a menacing aura that we're supposed to dread and fear, but the problem is that they don't actually establish a connection with him in any crime that was ever committed.
I will drag Hightown and P-Town into a new era.
Fun fact, this show was originally going to be called P-Town.
There is a place called P-Town. They reference it multiple times in this episode. I think that's Providence.
Do you think that would have been a better title than Hightown? Or
no, I don't think.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have a far narrower appeal.
Yeah, but really, though, I think that's the biggest flaw in this opening episode is that they introduced the villain, but I guess he's the villain. I don't even know. Maybe it's like a red herring, but either way,
don't offer any other solutions.
Yeah, so I don't care about this.
Do you think the lobsters did it?
Oh, maybe that's why she was. That's like, yeah, that's the true red herring. The red herring is the red lobsters.
It's a red claws.
Yeah, the lobsters got her.
Yeah, there's just I have no investment in this mystery at all. I don't care if the bad guy goes to jail. I don't care about any of it.
I care about the main character, Cocaine Woman.
It's because I think her performance is like the only legitimately like engaging performance in the show.
Yeah, and particularly just the performance in the therapy session, which is towards the end.
Yeah.
Well, I think she does some subtle work in the partying scenes to showcase that she's like coping with having seen a dead body.
Yes. Nothing groundbreaking, but yeah, it's subtle, and yeah, that's the emotional hook of the show. But we're also supposed to care about this mystery, and this episode 1 didn't get us to the point where we're supposed to care about that at all.
Nope. Also, I'm just imagining at the opening scene where we see that guy shoot the lady, and he turns around and you just see a lobster on his back.
No, you did see a little red claw hang out of the frame, snipping at him.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds like an X-Files opening.
Okay, what about this? It shows like the murderers on in a video conference on their laptop, and they're like talking to somebody, and they're like, "All right, so what's the next plan?" And then it ominously shows a lobster on the other computer.
Or, yeah, there's a little crab, and it's eating like a slice of apple with those hands in front of his mouth.
Yeah, and it like types away
very slowly.
And, like, you hear it like click, and the click and it translates to "I'm in." So yeah, he has this conversation with Frankie, and then he leaves and goes and does some scummy ass scum shit. There's a garbage officer.
He's a trash human being.
He goes to the strip club where this man's wife works, and
but not the mother of his children.
Yeah,
he also visits her.
Yeah, so this first scene in the strip club is like scumbag shit. So he pays for like a back room or whatever, and then solicits her.
Yes,
so
and she asks him. And she asks him if he's a cop or not.
Yeah,
and he says no.
He said, "Do I look like a cop?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, actually, you talk like one too.
But I'm still gonna go for this green though.
Yeah. Now, maybe I was reading this scene wrong, but does he wait for her to already be like touching him before she like is like is she already like there?
What do you mean there?
Like, is she already getting ready to
stroke?
Yeah.
I assume you had a fully erect penis as well.
Which begs the question: why didn't he wait until after he came?
I think because then it's actually illegal.
I also don't
crime.
think he was interested at all either. I think he was just like channeling his inner will to get hard.
Oh god, so he's just like the stoic sociopath, asexual.
Yeah, sounds like a cop to me. So, he's like, listen, we can forget about this whole thing. You just gotta give me info that I need. And she's like, yeah,
I work at a strip club. What am I supposed to tell you?
Yeah. So instead of him going back to the club, what he does is instead shows up at her house, invites himself in, because her son enters.
Yeah, that's not consent to enter the premises.
Yeah, by the way, none of this would hold up in court.
This guy's like Jack Bauer, but without the intelligence. Without the wit.
Well, yeah.
But he still has the... audacity to break all the rules.
If this were a big-time movie, this guy would be played by Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but Mark
Wahlberg wouldn't have gone down like that.
Yes. Mark Wahlberg's version would be the hero.
That's right. Well, I guess arguably this guy is not the hero, right? Like, I get the feeling that they're trying to make him seem like kind of a scumbag, but I really
He's morally gray and on the fringes of the law.
I don't know. What if the writers think he's really cool, though?
That's what I can't figure out, because this is a Jerry Bruckheimer show, and he's not really great with writing nuanced portrayals of police officers. Well, I guess he doesn't write these shows, but he's not really great with producing nuanced portrayals of police officers. So yeah, Jackie has another good old day, meets another person.
Who asks her if she's a cop before offering her cocaine. She does tell her she's a cop, and she gives her cocaine anyways.
Well, yeah, because she's only an Oceans cop. She doesn't elaborate, but still. So yeah, they do some apparently high quality stuff, and then she flips her car. And
she's giving road hand in the next scene. Yeah.
Again, queen shit.
Swanson, sex corner.
Except for the crashing the car part. That's
well,
not.
Yeah, that would not be queen shit. To be fair,
that is like Stair shit.
Yeah, this is something Stair would do probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stairmaster gets arrested, and
yeah, that's why I relate to her, because she's basically me.
Yeah. Would you live in Hightown?
If I could, I would every day, brother. If you know what I mean. 420.
Wow.
Whoa.
No 420 references.
Whoa.
No!
Oh, hey guys,
there's livelihood.
I have a quick question for you guys. Just quick question here. Is the ceiling like a little, I don't know, closer than it was before?
It feels like there's something slightly jutting out of the top of the ceiling as well.
Ooh, maybe we should stop doing bits. I'm getting a little worried. Also, did you guys notice that Frank left the room?
Oh, I guess how did he leave?
Yeah, I didn't see any doors.
Are we starting to get snacks?
I was too busy staring into Stairmaster's beautiful eyes to notice anything Frank was doing.
Yeah, and I was too busy staring into my own in this reflection of the pool of urine at the pool of my bottom of my legs. Words.
Well, let's not worry about that.
Let's not dwell on that.
What were you looking at, Swanson?
Oh, I was looking ahead at the TV screen. I mean, it's blank right now, but, thinking about how we still have 3 more shows to go. And
when you think about
so much.
An empty TV screen is like a canvas.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
What do you think Hightown's canvas is?
I think it's a coloring book. For toddlers.
Okay. All right. So, we get, she wakes up in jail, and
she's in trouble. She's in trouble.
She gets released on bond, presumably because of Ed, I guess. And he's like, listen, this is bad news. You gotta go to rehab. And she's like, listen, I don't have a problem. He's like, yeah, but you can't, keep doing this.
Which is a problem.
I'm kind of 2 minds of this. One, I think it's kind of somewhat refreshing for a show to not spend an entire season being like, this person clearly needs help, and instead just immediately have her get the help. On the other hand, it's hard for me to, relate after only experiencing an episode of it.
Well, that's why they showed her drinking nonstop, to show that she had a problem, Swanson.
Yeah, I guess it does the heavy lifting for me a little bit, which is nice.
They really ram it into our head that she has a drinking problem.
Which makes sense, because they I guess have to get her into rehab ASAP for the plot to work. So yeah, this total shitbag shows up at that lady's house, and then he's like, listen, I'm not trying to be the bad guy, even though I broke into your house technically. And he's like, just give me info and stuff. It's fine. And
your child will not be harmed.
Yeah. And she sort of smiles, and I don't know if that means that she's warming up to this guy or what, but the last scene seems to indicate that maybe not.
I think that's just fear.
Yeah, the smile of fear.
Yeah, that's what women do when I talk to them.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, probably.
Self-deprecation here.
So we get the what's probably the best scene in the episode, which is the psychiatrist scene. I like it for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the acting is pretty spot on. But also, I like that it's very realistic to how a psychiatry session goes, and not like the classic TV edition of a psychiatry session,
I would have liked it if it had been the psychiatrist on The Sopranos.
I would have liked it if it was Hannibal Lecter.
Oh no!
Oh no! Different show.
No thanks.
Jackie, what do you feel when you take cocaine?
Oh God!
I believe that you are detaching from reality.
Actually, you know what? Stealth pilot? That would be amazing.
Yeah, could you imagine it's a stealth reboot of Hannibal, and he's just in Boston now?
Yeah, better show.
And he's trying to find this person who would waste meat by throwing it in the ocean.
Oh.
It's very rude, and I do not like rude people.
He's just trying to flex his intellect by tearing apart a crime syndicate and eating the mob boss.
Yeah, I would watch that. Yeah. I would watch a show that's Hannibal as a Punisher-esque figure who also eats people.
So, like, Punisher meets Dexter, in other words, Swanson?
Punisher meets Hannibal Lecter.
That sounds like it wouldn't be problematic at all.
Wait, did I say Punisher? I meant Hannibal meets Dexter, not Punisher meets Dexter.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Hannibal meets Dexter, yeah. When you think about it, Hannibal is just sort of a smarter version of Dexter.
Yes, very smarter.
I guess Dexter lucks out in the fact that everyone else around him is stupider than him.
And also they don't care he's a serial killer.
Imagine a Hannibal reboot where nobody realizes Hannibal's eating people.
Well, that's like
yes, I know.
First season.
That's like the entire series of Dexter.
Yeah, true. 8 seasons. God. And then he becomes a lumberjack. It's all good.
Do you think he murdered anyone?
Like as a lumberjack?
Yes.
I think they imply with the ending that he's like done murdering, which is the dumbest part of that ending.
How can he be? It's in his nature, right?
Well, yeah, that's what they establish in like the first like 7 seasons of the show, and then they're just like, maybe he's done now, shrug.
I think in real life, the serial killers who don't get caught just get bored and stop doing it.
Maybe that's what happened. 8 seasons of killing, he just got bored.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last season of Dexter is one of the most horrendous pieces of shit I've ever seen.
And so is the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that.
It's true, yeah. Pretty much you should just end... The show should have just ended at season 4. That's a good ending spot. Anyway. As for this show, the psychiatrist scene's very good.
Yes.
It's good acting by the actress for Jackie Canone's Monica Raymond. It's fun. It's good. I mean, it's not fun, but it's good.
It elevated my opinion, this show. That's for sure.
Yeah, it made me dislike the show to be like, it's okay, I guess. There could be some decent stuff going on here.
Yeah, I think the main problem with this show is, I think, just the way it was structured. We didn't just, focus on the protagonist with the compelling emotional story, rather than following this trash cop and also this other guy who we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, what we see here is, you mean what? Junior?
Yeah.
What if Trash Cop gets, totally owned, like a Jaime Lannister situation, and gets his hand chopped off, and he has to learn humility?
I feel like not enough cop shows have a cop get his hand chopped off. So yeah, she gets into the rehab facility, and she sees the lady. Wait, is that how? That's right. She sees the lady on the board, or is it that? No, it's that.
She doesn't see it
because she got out of rehab.
It's just a shot of the photograph on the board. I don't think.
Yeah, she doesn't see it. But we connect the dots, I guess, by being shown it. And she's talking to someone on the phone, saying that she needs to get out of there. Is it implied that she's talking to Junior? Because I don't think, but they cut immediately to him. I
thought it was implied that she was talking to the fisherman. Because
that's Junior.
Cut to him. Oh yeah. Wait, who's the cop? Ray Abruzzo?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Everything makes sense. God is in his heaven.
And then we cut to him cleaning the fishing boat, and he sweeps away a fingernail.
Is that what that was? I thought it was like a fancy bead.
No, it's a fingernail from the lady that he murdered.
It don't look shaped.
It implicates him in the murder. That's the idea.
Yeah. Well, I figured it implicated them, just not that it was a fingernail.
Oh. No, yeah, it's one of her fake fingernails. And then that's the end of the episode. I guess there's a little intrigue at the end there, but I guess overall, what you guys think? Did Hightown leave you high or did it leave you dry?
Left me high, more than dry, I would say. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm very guarded.
I found it entertaining, but I don't have any investment in the ongoing development of the story.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in that department too. I think mainly because they didn't I think if the show had focused more on Jackie and we didn't have Shit Cop over there doing his thing, and that bad mob boss, he has that scene with his wife where he's like, "You need to get close to him.
You need to suck."
Yeah.
They also failed to really establish a reason for us to connect solving the murder with Jackie's trauma in the first episode, which I think it needed to do.
She doesn't really have a personal stake in this at all.
Yeah, she was just traumatized by it at this point.
But, like, Jackie feels like a unique character, whereas most of the other characters on the show are sort of boilerplate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem for me, I think. I think I'm going to have to give it a light tune out for me.
Tune out for me.
Okay, well, that makes my decision easier. That's a tune out for me as well.
Wow. All right. Well, that's a tune out for Hightown. So I guess we know what one of these shows might end up being slotted somewhere, unless they're all tune outs. Wait, that can't be 4 shows all tune outs. That would be impossible, right?
I mean, we already did watch all 4 of them.
Well, yeah, but we don't know our opinions yet.
I think I do.
Well, oh, yeah?
I think I know what I feel about these shows, but let's go on.
I mean, we don't know each other's opinions, not our own.
I don't know my own opinion. I have to get mine from osmosis from you guys.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that might be a thing we've been accused of before. Anyway.
What, you mean like just preparing Keo and feeding him?
Oh, I meant like in general, because we rarely have differences on the pod.
I'm being groomed, folks.
You're very mature for your age, Keo.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's take a quick break here and get into a segment that's near and dear to...
No segments.
Oh.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can see rude. Spikes coming out of the ceiling now.
Oh, God. All right, well, let's move on then. I guess we'll get to the next show we watched here, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
The next show we watched is RoboCop 2, or Brave New World.
My favorite TV show. That's right. Peacock's only original live action offering. Brave New World is an adaptation of the Aldous Huxley novel that imagines a utopian society that has achieved peace and stability through the prohibition of monogamy, privacy, money, family, and history itself. The series stars solo star Alden Ehrenreich as John the Savage, and some other people are there too. Guys, did Brave New World take you to a new place, or the same old, same old?
Oh,
it's a somewhat new place, I guess. I don't know.
I did like the RoboCop 2 style commercials, interstitials.
Yeah, I'll give you a real hint here. I liked half of this show.
You mean the half Grant Morrison wrote?
Well, I was gonna say that Grant Morrison did write the teleplay to this, but I don't think that really means anything because that's just like the baseline for the script.
Oh,
this show got to a point where I was confused if the site we were on had a mistake on it, and it was just a different show.
Yes, yeah, because like the first half of this show, it feels like an adaptation of the novel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I read this for school back in the day. I read
part of it in middle school. I got bored because it was just people gossiping.
And that is pretty much the whole show, so I could understand why you might want to spice up an adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's like, I guess, potentially some racial connotations, but that's sort of baked into like the premise of the dystopia. So I don't really think it's like a...
Oh yeah, spoilers, it's a dystopia.
Yeah, this is a dystopian novel.
What?
A classic work that some attribute to being a ripoff of another person's work.
Yes.
Anyway.
What's the ripoff of?
Terminator.
It's I think people have accused Aldous Huxley of ripping off a Russian author.
Oh.
Typical. That's what we always do.
Rest in peace, both of them.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is interesting to me because we also watched another second show that's on Peacock, but as we'll get to, it's not technically Peacock's show. This is the only live action show that's on Peacock that's made by them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's interesting to see that this is like their big gambit here. Originally, this was in development a few years back for sci-fi. So could you imagine the sci-fi version of this?
Oh, well, there would be no boobs, that's for sure.
Well,
so what would be the point?
And then, as recently as last year, the show was going to be on the USA Network. Before it got moved to Peacock.
That would have had a character saying, "I do this for my family." Somehow.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what John the Savage would have said at the end of the episode. So yeah, the basic premise of Brave New World is intact here in this opening. We get a very stylish opening here, where our main female protagonist, Lenina, we see her walking around, and we get like the sights of this futuristic world. Good CGI here, actually.
Yes,
pretty solid stuff.
I was pleased.
Rare occasion where I'm not just looking at it and saying, "Ha! Look at the CG. Look at that.
Ha! Fuck you."
Yeah.
Did you make that a Unity engine, fellas?
So yeah, this we get a nice look here of the futuristic world. It's a sleek sort of utopian society, but maybe there's something bubbling under the surface. So we get this sequence between our two main characters here outside of John, Bernard and Lenina. Bernard works as like some sort of like sex guy.
He's like I don't know. Sex cop.
Yeah, he's like a sex cop.
I wish I was a sex cop.
That sounds, you know what? Better movie than RoboCop.
I mean, I think what they're going for is he's this dystopia's version of like a therapist or a psychiatrist.
I guess, yeah, because he does offer somas, but I guess everybody loves soma.
I think he's just a chaperone, and this whole society is just one giant prom.
There's also a nice little thing here that I feel like some of this show feels a lot like Black Mirror.
Oh.
Particularly the parts where they have like the optic implants that show them someone's rating,
and power
of, like,
level.
if they're an alpha or a beta, or don't be an epsilon. Anyway, so Bernard is like, "Listen, you've been having a sexual relationship with the same man. That's no good."
That's greedy to want all that.
Pretty much.
Hoarding.
He shows his uploads of the sex files that they've had.
Yep,
and,
you're definitely having sex.
He's like, "Look at this. Wow. On the sink. Ooh."
This seems like this will be easily solved just by having sex right then and there.
Well, they do that too, apparently. I think the thing is that like there are cameras everywhere and in your eyeballs.
Yeah, but I mean, if the problem is she's being monogamous, just have sex outside of the relationship.
That's the thing. He's telling her to do that.
Yeah, that's the whole conversation.
You should have been like, "Hey, maybe I can help you with that." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, what we learn is that he's not super interested in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I couldn't tell him apart from the other guy that she was accused of being monogamous with, so I got confused at the end of the episode because all these British people. Well, they're both black-haired British guys.
I think the guy she's accused of being monogamous with is like distinctly Asian.
I do not remember that at all.
Yeah, he's an Asian guy.
Oh, God. I gotta quit TV tuners now, sorry.
Wow, who knew? Episode 100, Stairs finally canceled. So yeah, this conversation's like, I like it, but it does sort of feel like all of that stylish opening was set up for this very long conversation.
This is not great. It's a bit of a clunker.
But then the opening continues, and we get these fun little commercials for like the Savage Land.
Yeah.
And it's like where people get to indulge in like base urges like shopping and like being married and having children.
Yeah, basically being ordinary humans.
Yeah.
To be fair, their critique does ring true a little bit of our society.
Yeah.
You gotta hand them that.
I guess. I just feel like it's a little superficial. Especially when we get to what we get to later. So yeah, we cut back and Bernard has to go have like this interaction down with the Epsilons. I'm assuming they live in like a different sector or something. So they don't even get real names, as we learn.
I think they're just service workers, and he's going to like this relaxation spa since we see some people in a hot tub.
Oh yeah, that might be weird. That might be the case. We also learned that the Epsilons don't even get fucking names. There's, like the one Epsilon who he talks to, and they introduces himself as like C Jack 60.
Also, they use like third person pronouns and the royal we.
So he finds out that one of them has committed suicide, and he's like perplexed by this. Like, imagine being the first person to witness a suicide.
Yeah, everyone's all fully pacified on this soma drug that makes you just, real compliant, real happy and mellow.
Yeah, I want some.
Oh, that's your takeaway.
Yeah, your takeaway was it's good.
My takeaway is that I'm sad.
You would want the government to sort of hand this out willy-nilly for you, so you don't have to think about anything?
That would be nice.
Wow.
All right.
Look, this is giving the show a lot more credibility, I think.
I mean, also those people don't seem like they're paying rent or anything.
No, but there's a whole host of other problems that are like going on.
What else? Did you see all that sex they're having? Nice.
Yeah. I had a question about that, but we'll get to that when we get to the big, like, orgy sequence. Which is not a thing I expected to say in a TV show that we watch on the podcast, but hey, it's episode 100, baby.
Yeah, we can go wild.
So the nice little touch here is that he spent so much time giving somas to everyone else so they wouldn't question what's happening, that he doesn't have one for himself.
Yeah.
So he has to actually investigate because he can't figure it out.
It's genuinely disturbing to see how these people saw a dead body and they're fine with it because they got their drug. That's disturbing.
Well, clearly that one guy isn't, because he just
yeah, because that guy also got his drug, but it's implied that he might have also just murdered the dude. But yeah, he begins to start thinking that, like, the pills don't, like, work on every single feeling of pain. And he's talking to this woman, Helm Watson, which is a good, like, future dystopia name. And she's like, listen, just have a soma. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions.
But what if soma doesn't work? Then have a soma.
Yeah. So we cut back to Lenina, and this is where it felt particularly like a lackluster Black Mirror, where her friend is trying on all of these outfits and being like, what do you think? And they go to this rave.
Yeah, none of those outfits were slutty enough for what is literally a public orgy.
Yeah.
I just, in my opinion, if I was going to a public orgy, I would show some skin.
Yeah,
let people know
wear like assless chaps.
Yeah, so people can know it's for sale.
I would wear my TV Tuners co-host vest and nothing else.
I would wear like a costume that's like from Zardoz.
Yes.
And just sort of go there.
Like,
I'd also have a mustache like Zardoz. Like
the Speedo and the kind of very tight wife beater. Yeah. Leotard wife beater.
Yeah, for Keo. So since he definitely doesn't know what Zardoz is, right?
No clue.
I feel like I've shown him pictures. Well, at least of the floating head.
Let's watch that for like a movie night sometime, guys.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
The TV Tuner's official movie night?
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get out of here, which I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get the right order. There's no way we're going to get it wrong.
And then I'll buy that boat like I always was planning. The SS Live Forever.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, by the way, Star's one episode away from retirement.
Yeah, also I won the lottery the other day.
Oh, wow.
So I can actually retire.
Nice.
Wow, you're going to cash in, my man.
Yeah, I thought I was going to just become homeless and die once I retired from podcasting.
No, it seems like you were one of the good ones. Got out alive.
Yeah.
That sounds like an epic win for great justice.
Yeah. Oh, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
So yeah, they have this scene here where Lenina gets introduced to a different person who isn't her previous lover, and they have like an interaction where they're like, introducing this person. And she's like, yeah, and here's this gal, and he's like, all right, cool. Also, there's a moment where Bernard is just sort of hanging out, having a good old time. Not really, though. He seems pretty down, probably because he's just saw suicide.
Yes.
And he like spies her staring at him from across the orgy hall. And then then they get down to it. They do love those things, huh?
This is a very synchronized sex.
I feel like they've done their practice on this.
What do you think happens if you get the timing wrong? Instant death?
I think you just don't get invited anymore.
I think you go down a level in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's how the hierarchy works. It's who does the orgies the best.
I'm assuming that's at least part of it, right?
Yeah, that's probably right. I had a question at the end of this orgy sequence. Well,
yes.
Okay, so to tell you what happens, they get down to it. Bernard is like, no thanks, and leaves. And then this question popped into my head. Do you think there's like a person who cleans up after these things?
Yes,
they're like in a park.
Yeah, they just have the Epsilons do it.
Yeah, they just come in and clean up all the various juices.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
They have them dress up in like these loofah suits and roll around on the floor. Because it's the future.
Yeah. So then we get to spend a bit more time. We get to spend more time in the Savage Lands, aka Mad Max world.
Yeah.
So we get introduced to John the Savage, played by Han Solo himself, Alden Ehrenreich.
I do like this setting. It's like bombed out recreation of Americana.
Yeah, I like the direction of this for this opening part. And then it takes a different direction. So yeah, we see him like washing a car, listening to like old music. Mm-hmm. This like the later scene where he's like buying music implies that they don't make music, which I guess makes sense. He's like, they're not making it anymore, and he's like, oh. So there's this scene where he's like hitting on this lady, and then the guy who's like running the thing, I guess, is all like, "Hey, your prop gun didn't work, shithead!" and throws the gun in his face. He's like, "Next time, make it work."
When this part of the show came around, this is what I was talking about. This is a different show.
It's a totally different show, and then like it dovetails into another different show.
Yeah, it's sort of like they just spliced 2 episodes together.
Yeah. And it's weird because, like, I was kind of enjoying the, like, bit that was going on in the futuristic society, and I was also kind of enjoying a little bit of this, but then it takes, like... Well, I guess we'll get to it when we get to it, but first, he goes home, and Demi Moore is there as his mom.
Yeah.
And
we had a real G-MILF situation here.
Yeah. And,
I think the implication is she's an exile from the New World, since she's got the British accent, sorta, but it's very thin.
I think that's the implication. And they have a real complex son-mother relationship.
Where he insists she should put on more clothing.
Yeah, and she's like, no!
That's real compelling.
Yeah, I guess. And then he sees someone, like, running around outside his bombed-out house, and he's like, oh, shit. And then he just gets apprehended, and he gets, they take a sudden turn into fucking, like, Westworld territory.
No, this is like he's being recruited by Hezbollah. Yeah, the Savage Lands is basically the West Bank.
Yeah. And this seems like
a force
I'm going to be honest, this seems like a bad way to run your revolution. Why are you threatening the guy who washes the cars?
Because he's also in charge of the prop guns.
Well, yeah.
So he's got a very important access to guns.
And this is, so the show already felt like 2 distinct halves, and then it feels like both of those halves got, like, a different writer assigned to them, and they just were like, what if we did something that's not in the book at all, and it's just like a weird take that is like more like a revolution show.
Yeah, I'd rather he just get radicalized by like a drone strike or something than this.
Yeah, like it's weird. I like that.
Yeah, let's blow up Demi Moore with a Hellfire missile.
Yeah. I like how, like, some of the most classic dystopian novels don't really have revolutions occur in them.
Yeah.
This novel in 1984 famously don't really have mass revolutions happen. They just have one person try and rebel and then immediately get punished.
Yeah. Well, maybe this guy will get owned.
So I think it's very telling of, like, culture in general that most adaptations of those things have to add in the revolution part. Like very hopeful of them to think that would be the case.
I mean, we are living in the middle of a revolution right now.
A hopeful one, yes.
Well, they're throwing a revolution here, but it does not feel like it follows from what we were watching before at all.
That's the other thing. So we get introduced to this random lady who is just like, listen, we're going to... She gives like this intense like monologue that means, I guess, something to us. She's like, the people come to the savage lands and they abuse the territory, and I will not have them abusing our territory.
Oh yeah, she talks about them being play toys for them.
Yeah,
they can't touch. They can't leave the bound to the force field, or they'll be evaporated.
I mean, valid, but who are you again?
Yeah, yes. like maybe we should have got something with this lady beforehand.
Like maybe a wanted poster or something.
Yeah. Give us like something before this lady just shows up and says, "You're gonna be part of the revolution, or else."
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like there's like any sort of tension before this.
No. And it's weird because, like, he seems, like, clearly, like, bored with his life, but, like, content with it. So it's weird for it to immediately be like, don't you want to cause, like, revolution and anarchy and stuff?
You're like, oh, yeah.
All right, sure, yeah. So then we get back to civilized society.
And, like, they don't even know what's even going on in there as far as we're made available, so
yeah, they don't know what even happens in that place.
So it's not connected with the dystopia we've been taught about. They're not saying like this is wrong, this is bad. They're just like they're mean to us.
Yeah. And it feels like it was there because they wanted like a conventional TV show, and the novel does not provide a conventional method for television adaptation.
Maybe they should have had, like, an opioid epidemic, and, like, the New World is just selling off the runoff rejected drugs to them.
That could be relevant.
Yeah, and that's why they're so angry.
Yeah.
Like the dark soma.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the bad batch.
The bad batch. Maybe it turns people into, like, sludge. Sometimes.
So, we get this scene with Bernard where he goes into his house and he's like taking out his optic nerve or his optic like implant, and his boss is like, "Yo, what the fuck? What are you doing? Hey, don't do that.
What are you doing? You can't control your optic blast without that."
And he's like, "You've been very private lately. That's no good. Don't be private.
Privacy's bad, my man."
I'm revoking your clothing privilege.
He said, "Hey, don't be private. Use your privates." That's the motto they say in New Worlds in New London.
Oh, I wish there were some propaganda posters like that.
Yeah. We do get some like Blade Runner-esque shit of him like walking through ads, which is fun.
This outright pornography.
Yeah.
I get some erotica.
And the Sex Dome advertisement.
It pretty much is, yeah.
They should have called it the Sex Dome.
But he gives him a like vacation to the Savage Land or whatever.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, huh. Interesting. So, he's having this moment where he's like thinking to himself or whatever, and then like Lenina just runs into his room. Are you able to just like? I guess you're just freely able to go into people's houses.
Yeah, but you get put to death if they're like too high up a caste from you, probably.
Yeah. So she just like rushes into his house, and this is another part that feels like a different writer wrote it, because in the previous scene where they interacted, it didn't seem like they knew each other much. Mm-hmm. And even when she's like looking at him in this party scene, it didn't seem like it was going to indicate that she would immediately rush into his house and be like, confront him. Like, it seems incongruous with the rest of what had been presented.
Oh, one note here. I like the casting choices. All the New Worlders are like this unrealistic Hollywood standard of beauty, while the Savage Worlders actually look like human beings.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So they do this thing here where he's like admitting that like, yeah, listen, he's not really into like the whole hooking up type of deal. And then they do something that they didn't establish before, which I think is odd. They project themselves doing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like in Dragon Ball Z when they're. It's like in Dragon Ball Z when they're flying the Namek, and Krillin's just like, "Let's do some image training."
It's just like they did a big shrug and was just like, "What if they did this?" And we were like,
Why don't they just do it?
That seems futury to me.
Why don't they just have sex?
Because he doesn't want to.
But
he wants to have image sex instead?
No, it's because then his boss can see it and assume that he's, being a good citizen.
Wouldn't the boss know that he's just projecting it, though?
That's what he says, and then she says that I don't think they would figure it out.
Oh, okay.
But I was just confused about how they're projecting it.
Well, I think it'd just be easier if they had sex, because then you don't have to tell a lie in the first place.
I think telling lies will get you in trouble in this society.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea to tell a lie. You should just do the thing that you don't feel like doing. Because the government wants you to.
Well, I mean, it's that or go to jail. Or whatever the hell the criminal justice system is.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just giving him more soma.
I've heard of death by snoo-snoo, but death by lack of snoo-snoo?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Death by refusal of snoo-snoo? Anyway.
That's me every day, brother.
So, they have this sequence where they're like having like a real bonding exchange here. And then we cut back to the Savage Lands, and I'm even more confused by the ending here. There's like missiles being fired and stuff, and it's just like, it looked like they just wanted like a real cool, oh, well, no, sorry, these are the rocket ships.
Yes, that's the planes.
Yeah.
The Earth. The space planes that take you from one side of the hemisphere to the other.
I do like that he decided that.
Yeah. To the Savage Lands. He's going because they told him to.
Yeah, and we cut to John the Savage sort of sitting there all cool, like he's shooting a Bruce Springsteen album cover.
We forgot to mention the mystery song when he's at the store.
That ends up being the most well-known Radiohead, one of the most well-known Radiohead songs.
I didn't hear it. When do you hear it?
It plays at the end when he's sitting on the car looking at his bullet.
Are you sure that isn't just credit music?
No, it plays Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead.
And you're sure that's a song he bought?
Almost positive it's in his earbuds.
Oh, I was hoping it would be something.
What were you hoping it was like Rickroll or something?
Maybe it could be Pink Floyd. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be cool, like Welcome to the Machine or something's playing. Something easy to get licensed for.
I would want it to be Rickroll. That would be really funny.
That would just be a real good, sequence to just him being sitting on the car listening to music and it's just do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
No, I was just hoping there'd be a dramatic reveal of what the song was so people could make memes out of it where they swap the song out for other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was like a semi-dramatic reveal, but it was more like the fact that he got a bullet. They just gave him a single bullet.
I think he's just listening to Radiohead.
I don't know. I feel like that. I feel like the whole purpose of buying the thing was so that he'd play it at the end. But yeah, so they gave him a single bullet, I guess, which seems... What if he misses?
Who's he gonna shoot? The pimp guy who runs the place?
Presumably.
And then what?
I guess global communism after that.
The thing I was confused by is that, when he goes down to their, little bunker thing, they have tons of bullets, but they only give him one? Stingy.
It's like in Fury Road.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah. This is Mad Max land.
Yes.
So anyway, that's pretty much the end of this Brave New World. What'd you guys think of it?
Very uneven, like the last show.
Yeah.
I think the highs are a little higher because of the production values. It does help that you can see more boobs than Hightown.
I like the dystopia stuff, and then the rest of it is
Yeah, it felt like
undercooked.
It felt like 2 or 3 shows that were just sort of mashed together, and then they were like, "What do you think?"
I'm not even exaggerating. I was literally checking to make sure this was the same show because this has happened before. The sites would just be messed up. Yeah, where like some other show would be part of the video.
I've never had that happen to me.
It's happened to me once or twice.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Peacock, I mean.
Yeah, on Peacock, though.
Oh, yeah, Peacock. Sometimes we'll get the show wrong when you're watching it.
That's right. It's a big problem they should work on. So, yeah, this was our first Peacock show. Previously, we did our first Stars show. We're really having a bunch of firsts here on this 100th episode.
Yeah, first host death?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Oh, God. Oh,
yeah,
no!
Jeez. That's your, like, friend.
Oh, man up, Stairmaster.
Okay.
Wow. I thought, like, at least you were going to have to give him, like, a big warning, like a big speech about manning up, taking responsibility or something.
I've gotten good at bearing my feelings hosting this show.
Yeah, you gotta. So I think it's a tune-out for me. It's a bit too mishmashed. It doesn't, like, all feel part of the same whole. Maybe it does in later episodes. I don't know. Probably not going to check it out.
I mean, if you dig sci-fi dystopia stuff, that part's good. So maybe the later episodes will be more of that instead of the parts we don't like. So tentative tune-in.
I'm going to give it a light tune-in on this one.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
Consensus.
Well, it looks like that's a tune-in on Brave New World.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a neat world, the dystopian part of it, and I'm interested to see where the conflict's going to be in the ensuing episodes. So, might watch a bit more of it to find out.
Interesting. Okay, not what I expected. All right. Well then,
Intermission begins.
Oh.
Can I have a snack?
Oh, okay. There's a bag of Junior Mints on the floor. Where is Frank in here?
I'm gonna bunch and crunch.
Oh, there's Frank.
Oh, okay.
In the rafters.
So intermissions right now. Do you guys think we could do like some like plugging and stuff, like some segments?
Tweet of the week.
Yeah, like maybe we could like just plug do our regular plugging and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if you like what you're hearing so far, this is our big 100th episode. We'd love for you to continue being a part of the TV Tuners audience, being a tuner.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends about us and go over and tell them that we're available on all of the podcatchers of their choice. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and more.
Tell your dog.
Yeah, and you can go subscribe, leave a 5-star review. Any of that fun stuff would be appreciated, and it would make us love you forevermore.
Yes, let's become one in body and mind and soul.
And also, if you want to like interact with us, we're available on Twitter at TV Tuners. And you can use the hashtag TV Tuners.
Yes.
We'll give a glance at what you're saying.
But what if you want more?
More?
No.
If you require a personal touch, perhaps if you have any questions, comments, quips, foresights, or otherwise, you could send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Keorain?
Oh, this is a tough one. Let me think about that. I think it's like TV tuner at AOL. There we go. Got it.
That's right. And with all that stuff out of the way, I think we still have time for a tweet of the week before intermission's over. Stare, you got anything?
This tweet of the week comes from @CZStill on Twitter. Username ThoughtSteiner.
Oh, okay. I like a username like that.
He writes, anybody ever watch Hightown?
Okay, well, first things first, Stare. I think you pronounced it wrong, because it sounds...
Anybody ever watch Hightown?
There you go. I appreciate this tweet, not because I guess he wants to talk about Hightown. That's cool. I appreciate it because it sounds like a Boston accent. Anybody ever watch Hightown?
Get a load of this show. It's Hightown.
I'm happy because when you hover over his name, you get to see his profile, and it just says, "Get a life."
That's pretty good.
Now, the answer is yes. I've watched Hightown, and
so have I.
Not my favorite show.
was okay. Now, okay, hold on. I have another theory here.
What? A theory?
What if he said anybody Eva watched Hightown?
Like Evangelion?
Yeah, like he wants to know if the mechs have been watching Hightown.
I don't think they would understand what's going on the TV. They seem very feral.
You think they would just be angered?
I think they would just go berserk and eat the television messily.
Oh.
They'd rip the guts out of the TV and feast on them.
I think Shinji probably watches
Shinji's
Hightown.
not a diva.
What?
He's a pilot.
Yeah, he would probably watches it and then gets in his pilot and like...
Yeah, you need to let me finish there, Master. Don't interrupt me, rude boy. He probably watches it while he's inside of his robot on the little screen in there.
And that causes the Eva to go to berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole end of Evangelion happens only because he was watching Hightown.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because Seal is just doing a bunch of coke.
Well, that's true,
and that's
too.
why they attack Nerve. Spoilers.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to tune in on this tweet.
Yeah, tune in. This is a wholesome, positive tweet. Just checking up on his friends and family.
I think in general, I like this guy's account. I like this guy. He seems like a cool dude. Also, it helps that his name is Thought Steiner.
That's a tune in from us.
Yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations, Thought. We hope to hear from you soon.
Look, let's just say there's a little offer prepared for you.
Oh, yeah. There's been a recent vacancy.
Yeah, we...
Oh,
no! Yeah.
Intermission over. Begin. Gauntlet.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. I guess we're back at it.
2 shows left?
Yeah, we're halfway there. Some would say we're living on a prayer. I wouldn't. That would be terrible to say, but some would say it.
That'd be a dire situation, I would suppose.
So this next one is another Peacock import.
Yes, this is from 2019.
That's right.
So certified stale.
It's The Capture. It's a BBC program from about a year ago that has been brought over to Peacock.
Yep.
Another thing that I think is interesting is that that show where Ross from Friends is like an American agent in the British NSA is like another BBC import. So Peacock's like 2 of Peacock's main like titles are British imports.
That's a runoff from the UK.
Yeah, I feel like this might be something that we're going to have to deal with a bit in the future, because as the pandemic continues to not get any better, TV shows like streaming services and networks are going to be looking for content.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going to be looking across the sea.
2021, the year of anime, baby.
Yeah, maybe. Once they've run out of like old BBC shows to start airing. I'm waiting for them to just be like coming to ABC this fall. I, Claudius.
That would be good though.
I mean, yeah, I would watch it, but it would be like, why are you airing the 70s BBC show?
No, it slaps.
It does. It does slap.
Yeah, they can bring back Fall of Eagles. They can have that Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy with Alec Guinness.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm for this.
They can re-air the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, bring it on. So, The Capture follows the former United Kingdom Special Forces Lance Corporal. That's a mouthful, jeez. Sean Emery, who finds himself accused of the kidnapping and murder of his barrister, Hannah Roberts, after being acquitted for a war crime in Afghanistan. Backed by damning CCTV evidence, he must work to clear his name, helped by fast-track detective inspector Rachel Carey, who begins to uncover a complex conspiracy surrounding him.
Yeah, there's no conspiracy in this episode, though.
I feel like we get the beginnings of one.
We get to see it be framed.
Did the capture your guys' attention, or did it leave you lost?
I feel like I needed a bodyguard for this British show. Deep dive. #.
Thanks
Sorry,
for that.
Mom.
This feels like a slower version of of Bodyguard. I might end up being the high man on this, but it does a lot of setup in this first episode. But I was mostly entertained, I think.
I found it to be pretty slow.
Yeah, I didn't. I took like 3 notes.
I think the problem with this is that it doesn't have like the Bodyguard, which had its own problems with its ending.
Yes.
Opens with like a big tense like opening scene, and this doesn't really give us that, so it's kind of a slower like Bodyguard sort of does the same with its first episode where it establishes the characters and stuff, but it also has that big tense opening. Without that, we sort of just get a slower opening. I feel like once the actual murder, quote unquote, happens, that's when things start to get interesting in this show.
Yeah, like too late.
I guess maybe. So yeah, we open up with this guy, or we open up with these 2 people watching CCTV footage, and this lady sees a horrible crime being committed that we don't get to see till the end. And then she calls for the police to intervene, and that's when we cut to the capture. It's capture.
All we get to see is a bus go by, and then she's like, oh, "What happened after the bus went by?"
Oh no!
Yeah, who knows? Could she be captured?
And do you consider that to be a hook, guys?
No,
A
not really.
bit,
it's not very hook-like.
Because that was the hook of the show.
Maybe if the follow-up had been more immediate, it would have been an okay hook.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like a 40-minute hook. That's for sure.
Instead, we get Army Boy. We learn that this guy's going to trial. He killed an unarmed Taliban insurgent, presumably.
He was lying on top of his gun.
What'd you say?
He was lying on top of a gun. You could see that in the video.
The claim is that he was unarmed. So we get introduced to him a little bit. He seems like a decent enough guy, I guess, for being a potential war criminal. Then we get like him in British court, and I don't think I've ever seen a British court sequence because I was really taken aback by this. I didn't know they just actually wore wigs in British court.
Yep,
it's wild.
Keep England weird, baby.
Fellas, who here hasn't dressed up as a British lawyer?
Could you imagine Better Call Saul in Britain?
Oh god, I can't wait for that remake.
It's just him in like a powdered wig, just being like, "Now, counselor." Like, imagine the court sequence during Chicanery in Better Call Saul, where it's just him in a powdered wig and Chuck is up on the stands, and he's just like, he's like, "Chuck, could you reach into your pocket?"
Imagine him defending those kids who had sex with the head.
Are you even allowed to have pockets in British court?
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to have pockets. No pockets on the bum. No pockets on the fanny.
He pulls out a little ruler and slaps people who violate the dress code on the butt with it.
Yeah.
Bailiff, please prostate the man.
I think mainly because I haven't seen a British court sequence. I was mainly intrigued by this part, but it goes on a little too long, I think, maybe. So this guy shows up and he's like the foremost expert in like cameras.
Yes.
And he's all like, "Listen, there's a delay, so obviously it didn't make any sense. You gotta like the camera was on too long, so it caused a delay. So they play it with him having the delay, and it makes more sense for why he shot this man."
I love this smug camera expert who's very nonchalant about this very solemn court case.
Yeah, I want more of this guy.
I mean, if you were the surprise witness who was gonna like exonerate this guy in like this OJ level trial,
yeah,
you'd be like, "Hey, this is a knockoff GoPro camera. It sucks. It's trash, boys. Check out my review on YouTube.com."
So he ends up getting acquitted because of that guy's testimony. And then we get introduced to our female lead, Rachel Carey, who works for the I guess right now she's working for Homicide. And
she's living on the streets.
I like that the British branch of Homicide is called Homicide and Serious Crime. I guess, yeah.
Homicides are not serious crimes, is what I'm taking from this.
Or is it that homicide is such a serious crime that it can't be lumped in with the other serious crimes?
I think that's the implication.
So we get.
I should have called it rape and serious crimes.
Yeah, I think so.
Time for Stairmaster's crime rankings. You won't believe number 10.
You won't last 5 seconds.
When I murder you.
Oh, well, that's Homicide at number 10?
No, that's number 1, silly.
Oh.
That's why you don't last 5 seconds.
We get introduced to this lady. She works in the homicide department. We get introduced to her via her, sort of badgering this little kid.
This poor Muslim kid.
Yeah. His brother, I guess, was killed by burglars or something. Sounded like it might have been a hate crime. I don't know. But he hid under his bed or something, and he didn't want to reveal that. And then she's like, "Well, we can take your PS4 and get the recordings, and that could help us solve anything. But if it's not, then we have to come back and ask more questions."
So, was the purpose of this scene to establish that she's a good detective?
Yeah, she can outsmart even the wiliest of child.
Yeah. I think it's to establish that she knows the ins and outs of the footage.
Video games?
More the information that they can get from these types of things, like cameras and
she understands the male psyche.
I think the implication was that she knows this stuff, and that means that she's gonna understand what the problem is with this mystery, I guess.
She's an ultra expert. She even knows about video games, the most arcane objects of all.
I think the point is she just knew he was lying based off of intuition.
Well, I mean, she knew that he had a PS4. She knew how online gaming worked and all that stuff.
I think that was just a scriptwriter getting mad at video games being portrayed incorrectly on TV shows.
I mean, you know what? Good on them.
Yes.
So yeah, she goes back to I guess she was temporarily part of SO15, which is their counterterrorism.
Yes, the guys from Bodyguard.
Yeah. And she meets up with her old squad, and they have an interaction or whatever. And
there's some office politics.
Yeah.
Do we get a quick interview with Pam on how she feels about this? About her being promoted so quickly?
Yeah. We learn she's a fast-tracked officer, and she's talking to, I guess, who's her partner? This, gruff British man who's like, "You're all right by me, Mum."
And Ron Perlman's her boss?
Yeah, what's up with that?
He does the British voice well.
Yeah. It took me, a moment. Because I have never in my life.
It's like seeing the face of God.
And also the face of God you've heard in an American accent numerous times, and now he's British.
What if Hellboy was British?
So yeah, Ron Perlman's their boss, and he doesn't do a lot in this episode, but it's just it's wild to see him here.
Maybe he's in on it. And that's why they casted him.
Maybe. I have a feeling this is going to be a Bodyguard-esque conspiracy, so...
I mean, they do mention she's a human rights lawyer.
Oh, yeah, the barrister.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're partying after he's gotten off scot-free. Well, first we get to see his complex parenting situation.
Where, he's divorced.
Where he's divorced, and his wife doesn't like him showing up unannounced in army uniform.
Who doesn't like that?
I hate it.
Yeah. It's great when a random soldier appears.
I love to surprise my children and ex-spouse by cosplaying as Big Boss.
and And fellas, who here hasn't been accused and convicted of a war crime?
Yeah, those who have not been accused of a war crime, shoot the first bullet.
Not me. I pinned it all on that Milosevic guy.
Okay, so I think the rest of this show wraps up, pretty quick, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has this party. His buddy is like, "Hey, listen, that barrister wants you, man. She wants you, D."
Give her the pipe.
And he's like, "Do you think I'm horny, baby?"
Sorry, Mom, I'm a bit stiff right now.
And he does a creep move, which is he travels like down the street to see if she's walking, and then just like pulls up in his car and is like, "How you doing, Mom?"
I'm a bit backed up. Can you imagine the guy from Bodyguard just like shouting that frantically? I'm backed up! I'm stuck!
Backed up, Mom!
Please!
I'm backed up! I got a load ready to blow! Yeah, it's just the bomb cutting sequence, but it's...
Yeah, it just heats really hard.
Yeah.
You can see it through his pants, even though he's wearing jeans.
Wow, I can't... Series 2 of The Bodyguard sounds intense. So yeah, they have this moment. The bus passes by and she gets on it.
Well, you didn't mention that he puts his lips on her lips.
Well, she leans into him.
Well, they put their lips on each other's lips. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, Stairs wants you to know this is a consensual kiss.
Yes.
And then he's like, "You want to come home, Mom?" And she's like, "No, thanks."
Oh, give me a sex.
And she hops on the bus and he leaves.
A little cooch, please, miss. Miss?
And that's the end of that. Wait a second. No. Apparently there's some sort of footage that's been potentially altered, maybe. But they think that he had something to do with her disappearance. So what happens next is where the mystery actually starts. Yeah, I think maybe it did take a little too long to get into the mystery here.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like...
Yeah, it should be more like The Fugitive.
You think he should have run away instead of getting tased?
It should have been like him in the cell, and then he has flashbacks, and maybe like there's interstitial of like the murder during the opening credits.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tommy Lee Jones shows up instead of Ron Perlman.
Well, that's the thing, though. Did a murder actually happen, or didn't it? Because we still don't even have a body. She's just missing.
We don't have a body, and I guess part of the mystery for us, the audience, was to know, wait, did he do it or not?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing in The Fugitive as well. He didn't really exonerate himself until like halfway through the movie, clear cut.
Yeah.
I keep like referencing The Fugitive that I watched.
Well, maybe you should watch a movie for once in your goddamn life.
I did like the sequence where he gets the people. They decide to just go full SWAT team and break down his house, and they disrupt his grandfather, who has an entire mental episode. And then the moment that he realizes that he's being arrested again, he just goes ham on some of these cops.
Yeah, I wish he had escaped.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I don't know how she would have figured out the mystery at that point, because there would have been a manhunt going on.
He could have exonerated himself, like in The Fugitive.
Yeah, maybe.
He didn't even know, like, why.
Yeah, he didn't know what was happening.
That would have been a bit difficult.
That was the problem, is that, like, because presumably the footage was altered, he doesn't know what happened. It doesn't help that he was also woken up from a drunken slumber. So he gets arrested. Ron Perlman comes back to be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And she's like, "Don't worry, I gotta make this case important." We also get some bits with her where it's implied that she's gotten fast-tracked because she's sleeping with someone who's higher up.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, that might not be that's not great.
Sick nasty.
But she was just the best, guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's bad.
In my opinion, I would not have sex with that man.
Yeah, no. He seems like a war criminal.
I don't think I would have sex with any of the men on this show.
Not Ron Perlman?
No, not British Ron Perlman, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So yeah, they conduct this investigation. The big, I guess, scene of this second part of the episode is when they have the interrogation with him, which is some good acting from him. He really can't, like, they show him the footage and we get to finally see the footage, which is just after the bus leaves, instead of her getting on, he stops her and then, like, drags her out of frame.
Yes.
Which makes sense for why they were searching the car and everything. And also they searched her house and she wasn't there either, so someone took her, but who was it? Because he's adamant that it wasn't him.
Yeah, to the point of fisticuffs.
Yeah.
He's upset. He's like, whoa, what'd you guys do? That never happened. That never happened. That never
I'm with
happened.
the union, pal.
Oi, I never did that. That's not me. Who's that? What'd you guys do to that? That's not me.
Who's that lad in the video?
What the fuck?
That
What the
ain't me.
fuck?
And even his lawyer's like, yeesh, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, he gets apprehended again.
Yes.
And she seems a little shook by this because when her partner, I don't know why her partner's like, yeah, whatever, this guy totally did it. If I had watched that unfold, I probably would have been like, I don't know any more about this. That was pretty convincing. That dude seemed genuinely shocked to see the footage.
Yeah, that guy just wants to go home.
I think his theory is that, like, you know, he's a PTSD man. He's like broken. His brain don't work.
Yeah, that's her theory, but he's all like, yeah, he should win a BAFTA for that. Like, he thinks he's just acting.
Oh, yeah.
So then they're going to go.
Well, what's the BAFTA? Is that like a British reward?
It's like the British Emmys.
It's like the British reward for excellence.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Get yourself a BAFTA. So yeah.
Welcome to the BAFTA Awards. You won.
Yeah,
welcome.
The Queen decides.
TV Tuners has won the BAFTA podcast.
Wow.
We're not even British.
Whoa. I looked at the... Have you guys seen the statue for this reward?
Oh my god. It's Mr. Bean.
No, it's...
Oh!
Excuse me?
Oh my god.
The BAFTA award looks like Caesar's face.
It looks like the Men Shall Become Demons mask. But with hair.
It looks very unhappy and...
Congratulations, you've won a BAFTA.
No, I don't think I want it now.
Take your BAFTA.
Yes, Mr. Atkins.
The BAFTA will haunt you.
Oh, God.
It sure will. Imagine seeing that, like, displayed in someone's home.
Like, is that like a trophy from you killing somebody?
Yeah, that seems like the trophy you'd win for winning the most dangerous game.
Yeah, Gary Busey just has a bunch of these in his house from surviving the game.
Yeah. You know what? If I walked into Gary Busey's house and he had a bunch of BAFTAs lying around, I'd believe it. That's my BAFTA room. So yeah, God, all right, I have to look away from that.
Yeah, it's not great.
So they go and they think they have an idea of where the body might be in the river, and they go and the episode leaves us hanging on whether or not they find this body, and we get like what we actually end on is the guy in his cell, and he's thinking back, trying to like piece back what he remembers. I guess the implication here is supposed to be that like he might be innocent since he's remembering her getting on the bus.
But he's also remembering beating her up and abducting her.
No, he's not.
There's some shots that make it look like he's seeing that from the first person. There definitely were.
I guess.
So yeah, that's what turned. That was like, fuck the show.
What a mystery, guys.
I don't know. I guess I liked it okay. There wasn't like a lot to it, but it seemed like it could be fun. I don't know.
And the problem I had with it is they could have definitely resolved everything they did in this episode in I would say half the time.
Yeah, it was probably a little too long. Maybe it didn't need to be 55 minutes, but hey, that's the BBC for you.
Yeah, you know how they love to make their TV shows as long as possible.
Well, they do, yeah, because no commercials. So you do have to make like 55-minute episodes.
I meant the episode count, sweetie.
It's not what I was talking about, bitch.
I know. Fuck you. I've always hated you, Swanson, and your domineering attitude.
Oh my god, they're gonna kiss.
No! Ah!
Oh. Wow, I can't believe...
This.
Who could believe Stare would be having a bad reaction to this?
The only way to wash this off is with the taste of Keo's lips.
Ooh.
Maybe another one.
Well, maybe now. Well, now I want to taste Keo's lips.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off! It's mine. Ugh.
Whoa!
Wow, Stare's kicking at me. He's still chained.
Well, I'm glad that voice on the intercom doesn't object to this.
Keep going. I want to see what happens next.
Oh, this is the one thing they're fine with.
Keo, I need you to get my wrist unbound, so I can stab him with my knife.
You have a knife?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use it to break your cuffs or something?
Oh, good idea.
Oh, there you go.
What was those made of?
I don't think we want to know.
Well, I feel a lot better now that I can move my arms.
These are chocolate handcuffs.
Oh.
Covered in foil.
Oh, okay. That was... Well, you saved just in time, Keo. You saved me.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to be the guy who gives a light tune-in on that one.
Tune out.
Yeah, sorry, Swanson, but tune out on this.
All right.
I mean, the mystery's interesting, but I didn't want to wait.
Well, we kind of already knew what the mystery was going to be.
We had an idea, but it was like...
Yeah.
Not revealed until later on. Where they also reuse footage of earlier. And they keep doing the same joke of like, oh, the guys in this room like to eat food.
Yeah, fuck food. I hate having to depend on it to live.
Yeah, I like food.
Oh, okay. That's a tune in on food.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're going to head into the...
now then. That sounds like it's a tune out on the capture.
Yes.
What's the latest in
Target lost.
Latest in TV news, Swanson?
Oh yeah, let's get to the news.
No bits, no news, no trailers.
Wow. I'm hearing lots of no's, not a lot of yeses.
That is correct.
The only thing allowed, I guess, is TV shows and homoerotic content.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow, confirmed.
All right.
Speaking of homoerotic, the next show we watch has a 6.9 rating on IMDb.
Ooh, hot.
Bad sign.
Yeah. So next we watched Netflix's latest here, Warrior Nun.
Ooh.
Could you imagine? Okay, imagine this for a second. There's no more Marvel Netflix, so now they have to turn to other comic books.
What?
Oh boy!
Warrior Nun is a adaptation of a obscure comic book that revolves around the story of 19-year-old Ava Silva, who wakes up in a morgue with a new lease on life and a divine artifact embedded in her back. Soon she discovers that she's now part of an ancient order that is tasked with fighting demons on Earth.
Wow, I wish we could get to see that.
Did Warrior Nun leave you guys feeling powerful, or did it leave you guys feeling weak?
It didn't make me feel in touch with my inner femininity.
It made me feel juiced.
Yeah, what? Does that happen a lot? A lot of things make you feel in touch with your inner fem side?
I don't want to talk about that on the pod.
Why did you bring it up then?
I thought it would be funny! I thought it would be a funny thing to say!
And then Stare realized that he might have to confront thoughts.
Welcome to the Eggs Cast.
So yeah, we open up in this old Spanish church. And we get this priest and this nun talking. This priest has, today era Al Pacino hair.
Not Al anymore. It's father.
I'm a father now. Hoo-ha! So yeah, they're there. They're talking over his dead body. For some reason, this nun is very rejective of this body. She's like, oh yeah, she's going to hell.
Well, she is dead and whatnot. That is a very big...
That's a no-no.
I would be very adverse to a dead body.
I'd be like, get this dead body out of here.
Yeah, but do you just automatically assume a dead person is in hell?
Yeah, they had it coming.
Get her out of here.
Yeah, Just World. I'm a strong believer in the Just World fallacy.
Yeah. So this nun leaves and goes into her nun van and drives away.
Yeah, I think she's a demon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Evil nun.
What a twist, guys.
So what we get next is a bunch of soldier nuns come in. They don't look like warrior nuns. They look like soldier nuns.
And they're doing something. There was a battle and someone's wounded and woo.
What, do you want them to have swords?
Swords, yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they had a sword.
That might be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. They mention a sword, but we don't see it.
No sword. That's for like the last episode.
So they have this. They bring this lady into lay her on a table, and they're like, she's been shot with zippity bop particles, and they're like, oh no, not zippity bops.
They said like Devonian, and I kept thinking of like
it was.
I kept thinking the boy got to eat
Divinium, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. It's called Divinium. It's pretty much them just making it's their nonsense word that they get to use to explain away things.
It's
in the
god
show.
metal.
Yeah. It's like, what if vibranium was made by Jesus?
Maybe it is that fish from the meme, that ancient sea creature.
So they're like, she's got hit by divinium shards. And I guess we're just supposed to pick up that that's bad news because she's lying there in
she's
pain.
dying, and there's her wound is blue, and they're like, if we.
Yeah, they say she can't regenerate with the Devonian in her. But they also say she'll bleed out if they remove it.
So once they realize that she's definitely dying, and we hear mercenaries coming in through the other side. By the way, these mercenaries have to be hired by Gus Fring or something for how inept they are. They successfully kill is one nun.
I'm not even sure they killed that one nun. I think she's fine.
No, there's definitely a dead nun. That's the one that revives our main character. Definitely dead.
He's like,
I think she came
back.
Let
me pick up this glowing halo with the brightness of 1,000 suns with my bare hands, and he gets his fingers all severed off.
Yeah, this gets surprisingly violent.
Props to them.
I was not expecting this level of violence. The action scene is a little fun, but it's not that I'm just watching a random nun. I'm not even watching any of the characters you just introduced fight. And it's also the only action sequence in the whole episode, which is kind of eh. So yeah, I was not expecting this level of violence though. We also get to see her knee get jacked up at a certain point, and also them taking the object out of her back is super gory.
Yeah, it's very.
You'll love to see
it's pretty gratuitous, I would say.
Yeah, I don't even think the Netflix, maybe Punisher had this much violence in it, but I really don't. Maybe Daredevil when he was fighting that ninja, but this does. I don't know about if you guys got this impression, but this does feel like a Marvel Netflix show.
Yes, it does.
Yes, yes, the screenwriting for sure. This first episode takes way too long.
Yeah. So
where we need to be.
We get this nun runs around and just implants this body into the first corpse she finds.
It's a safe hiding spot.
Yeah. There's a stash spot, Swanson.
Yeah. I guess if there's one place to stash an ancient artifact, it's in a corpse of a quadriplegic woman.
They didn't know that. Or maybe she had a Q tattooed on her forehead.
Oh, and she thought it meant something else. I must put this in Q.
Finally, we can strike back at the deep state.
So yeah, they she encounters this red demon mist, but it immediately disappears, so it's all good.
No biggie.
Yeah, it's very passive-aggressive in this episode.
Yeah.
I want to see him melt someone.
And most of the rest of this episode, at least this first part, is Ava being like, wow, I have legs, and also I'm, like, alive. That's wild.
I can do ecstasy.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with this episode is it fails to establish, like, what the threat is.
Yeah, it's also just like spooky red mist.
Also, there needs to be more crazy biblical stuff happening to her. Like, stigmata should appear on people.
Yeah, I need like something for her to be, not for her to just be like, oh, she takes this way too much in stride. She can suddenly walk again, and she's just like, oh, wow, weird stuff's happening to me.
I want her to see a fire, and she just hallucinates some stuff.
Yeah.
That helps her out later in the episode.
Instead, she's just like, haha, crazy stuff, man. Anyways, back to Minecraft.
Pretty much. Like, she's just hanging out. Like, she's totally cool, normal. We get, like, a scene where she's running on the beach, and that's supposed to be, like, her emotional breakthrough, I guess. So my big thing here with this opening part is that it's a lot of like it feels like a standard like this wouldn't be out of place in like a CW show type opening where it's like, look at she's like a quirky teenage girl and it's like a fun time, except for the fact that she has a glowing church object in her back.
I think that would hurt, like just having that pressed against your spine.
Well, she also died and came back to life, so I'm sure it doesn't really feel that bad. So what I don't understand here is that so at first she's walking down the street and these guys are like harassing her sort of, and then this car just hits her, and I guess I'm confused why the car didn't see her, but also like that car definitely could have saw her.
Maybe angels don't appear through windows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she doesn't look in a mirror later. Yeah. And then she lands in the soccer shop and gets her full kit on and gets a whole new outfit ready to go so she doesn't look like a hospital patient.
She finds out that she can phase through walls and also has regeneration.
Which she doesn't use this episode at all.
Yeah, again, it's another thing she takes in stride. If I found out that I had regenerative abilities and just ran through a wall, I would be like, the fuck is happening?
I'd be like, what the fuck? I guess it's crime time now.
Yes.
No one can stop me.
I mean, technically she does commit a crime here.
Yeah, but not enough for my taste.
No, but she starts hanging out with these crime people later, which we'll get to. Before that, we get...
I kind of get the impression she was kind of just walking around in a euphoric haze.
Yeah, that's probably what they were going for, right?
Yeah, they didn't really sell it.
We get introduced to...
That was the intent, I think.
Yeah. We get introduced to the only figure who's, like, above the age of 40, who's in the main cast. And this guy's, like, if Giles from Buffy was a priest, pretty much. He's just, like, the watcher of these like, nuns.
These presumed child soldiers.
Yeah.
He's, like, real mysterious, and... up to something.
Yeah, he's like, we've got to find the artifact. And so he has a conversation later in the episode where he's talking to Mary, who's like the cool, like badass one, who also gets called Shotgun Mary. Sure. Where he's like, listen, those other two are like fine and whatever, but I can trust you.
She's like, yeah.
It sounds like it's being set up for him to be like revealed to be a bad guy or something, right?
Either a bad guy or a good guy doing something stupid with good intent, maybe.
Oh yeah, like a Professor X type deal, where he'll just do like a really dumb thing and then just be like, let me explain to you why I like invaded your privacy in your mind.
Let me explain why I made a demon myself.
Yeah. Let me explain why I made this helmet that allows me to explode everyone's mind on Earth.
Yeah.
If I wear it.
Come to me, my mutants. I'm speaking through your minds. Do not take this as an invasion of privacy.
Ah, Cyclops, I see you're begging again. Well done.
Do you think he gives him tips?
Yes, hit Miss Gray's back wall.
That's not really a tip.
I don't think you would have very good advice.
Well, yeah.
I've read a very enlightening book about the sexual pleasures. I have some...
Have you heard... Cyclops, have you heard of the Kama Sutra?
Doc, I don't think he needs sex advice. I don't...
What's up, Wolverine?
Yes. I think he would call him Doc. That'd be a fun little thing he would do.
Instead of calling him Bub, he calls him Doc.
Or Professor.
Well,
They're not Doc X.
Well, he's he's fun. He's glib about it. That's why he's calling him Doc instead of Professor.
That's true.
Yeah,
he'd be chomping on
a picture.
On a cigar.
He heads into his office. He walks into the office, chomping on a cigar. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Doc?"
Wow.
Didn't realize Keo had such a good Wolverine stash.
Oh, that is actually...
Wow, are you trying out for the new Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm working out too. I got like a pretty muscular physique going here. My arms are hairy.
Yeah, and you got like a 2-pack.
Oh yeah, and I have helped Keo encase his bones in the strongest metal known to man.
Oh, wow, that sounds painful.
Yeah, divinium.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, Priest Giles is like out looking for the girl, I guess.
Lady.
He just wants the halo.
Yeah, pretty much. His whole sequence is just there so that we can get like some explanation about demons in the world, and so he can do like a little monologue at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they say they're probably going to kill her to get the halo back.
Yeah, and he's like, I need you to be okay with that. And she's like, yeah, sure, don't care.
It don't matter.
Yeah. So then we get to the part that like made me scratch my head a little bit because it just feels like padding. So naturally, if this were like a show that was like serialized, what you would have is at the end of the episode, she encounters some sort of demon. Because you would have like a fun monster of the week deal, and she would encounter a demon, and then like the rest of the warrior nuns would show up and help her defeat the demon, and then they would be like, "Well, I guess you're with us now," and they would deal with the situation in the second episode.
Or you could do what Daredevil did.
Seems as though you forgot the Marvel Netflix formula, Swanson.
Yeah, this is when it started to feel like a lot like a Marvel Netflix formula, because then she meets these like art school rejects.
You mean like Hitler?
Yeah, they're sort of like Hitler figures.
Okay.
Okay.
Not at all. So she jumps in this pool and then realizes she can't swim, so she gets saved by a man named JC. For Jesus Christ?
From Deus Ex? Oh.
Well, it's a show about religion.
It's JC Denton.
I think that's why he was named JC. Deus Ex.
Yeah. Tell me about Ambrosia.
Do you have a single bit of evidence to back that up? Number 1. That's terror. Number 2. That's terror. Number 3. Ah!
So she gets introduced to JC's like crew of rejects who all look like it feels like when Ganju's gang got introduced in Bleach. Where it's just like, here's a bunch of characters that won't be important.
Yeah, this is a shittier version of Bleach.
Yeah? Expand on that.
Oh, there's a bunch of Spanish people. And there's ghosts and stuff that they gotta fight. And also, the hero is a teen who gets a supernatural power-up in the first episode.
That's true.
And also struggles with no real adult figures in their lives that they can trust. Just like Ichigo.
I mean, his dad
I could
counts,
that.
Right?
No, his dad is like too much of a goofball to be trusted to confide in him with anything of any depth.
Except for that one episode where he does confide in him.
Yeah, well, that's because he's about to go off and risk his life.
I think it's more of an Ichigo problem of being a brooding teenager, not his dad's fault, really.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think his dad has a line that admits he doesn't know how to raise his son like he does his daughters.
Well, yeah, I think he does. I think he does say that at one point.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so a lot of this episode in the middle half is like intense padding, where she's like goofing off with her powers and stuff, where she like goes to a bar and like causes a situation there, and then like jumps in this pool, meets these art school rejects, and then like she starts hanging out with this guy and realizes that he's like a criminal. So he goes on his manifesto where he's like, listen, all these people have these things that they tell us we could have, but they never let us have them. And then his manifesto is interrupted by her monologue being like, wow, what a hottie.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah, that's how teenagers
he sure
think.
is talking, but all I see is those juicy lips.
Yeah.
And she like tries to make up for it by being like, yeah, businesses suck.
Yeah. Did I mention this is a very fancy-ass mansion they broke into? It's got like a hall of mirrors from John Wick 2.
Yeah, they only pick the fanciest mansions that have, I guess, no security.
Well, we need to do this. We need to find... What did he say? It was owned by somebody from Saudi Arabia? Yeah, we need to find one of them.
That's how you know they're okay.
And record the pod in there.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
The audio would be better.
We get this this opening, like... So after this manifesto bit where they like they like start hitting on each other pretty much, we get this long sequence at this club that really doesn't need to be there. It's only there so that like she can interact with the red demon mist again.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if this ended like Terminator and the demon just started killing people in the club trying to get to her.
That would be a cool fight scene.
Yeah.
In a club? That would be a cool fight.
We didn't earn it yet. We have to get through like 2 more episodes probably.
Yeah, you could have had Shotgun Lady show up to shotgun him through the front glass windows.
And instead,
it's a car chase.
Instead of the nuns doing anything fun, what we get is one of them doing a mournful piano cover of Frank Ocean. It's just like this is the most egregious example of shit that doesn't need to be in the episode.
Yes.
What's your best rationale for why this was what this added to the episode?
It showed us the setting where the nuns hang out a little more.
Nuns have feelings too, guys. These women, they have thoughts of their own.
What?
Oh.
Just kidding.
And some of them express those thoughts via mournful piano covers.
And the old guy's like, no time. Gotta go.
Yeah. I felt like it was like a really like lame attempt at being like, they're mourning.
I'm sorry.
Which like they already showed us numerous scenes of that, so it seems pointless. And listen, I love a good Frank Ocean as much as the next guy, but this wasn't it. So yeah, the episode just sort of ends with her seeing the red mist and then walking off, like she runs away from it.
There's a demon,
and that she leaves. Yeah, the demon's there, and like the demon's like kills that old Al Pacino nun or priest, and
now I'm imagining Al Pacino doing drag.
I'm a warrior nun.
Hooah!
Hooah! Say hello to my artifacts.
Say hello to my little friend.
Just
Jesus
imagine
Christ.
That's good. So yeah, I'm imagining him in Hunters, but it's just him in drag.
No, I'm imagining him in the Last Temptation of Christ.
Do it, Jesus!
Maybe he's Pontius Pilate? That'd be fun.
Oh, now I'm imagining him in Jesus Christ Superstar as Pontius Pilate. Jesus!
I'm afraid!
So yeah, the episode ends and she isn't even warrior nun yet.
Yeah, she has done no war whatsoever.
She's done no warring, and she's not even a nun.
They're not even teamed up at all. They're like adversaries still.
Yeah, lame ending.
Yeah, that's bad.
So I will admit that I might have seen a little bit more of this than you guys.
Uh-oh.
The TV continued playing while you guys were like taking a snooze. You guys said you wanted to take a snooze before recording.
I was crying.
What were you crying over? I don't even get it.
Oh, I had shrapnel in my leg. I had to remove it.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty painful.
Oh, was that like...
when L exploded.
Yeah, Kyle's dead.
There he goes again, blubbering.
Oh no!
What are you gonna sing? A piano song about it?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And that's all we can sing legally. I did watch, half pay attention to the second episode as it was airing on the screen. I think it was like a mess up from whoever imprisoned us here. And I'll say, it doesn't get better.
Yikes.
Oh, okay, tune out.
She does officially team up with like the crew at the end of the second episode.
At the end?
Like, there's a whole confusing like other subplot that they're adding in with like a corporation that's trying to get into heaven.
So like Yu Yu Hakusho.
They make like a portal that takes them, that like they're assuming gets them into heaven using divinium.
Oh, it's divinium with an I. I thought it was an E.
No, yeah, they use unobtainium pretty much. Anyway, yeah, this show was This show was like a classic Netflix like poor pacing, where like all of the fun was sort of taken out by having way too much stuff that didn't need to be in there.
Maybe it'll be good by episode 5.
Yeah, or maybe it'll just sort of meander with subplots that no one cares about.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Fozzie.
Ooh.
Foggy. His name's Foggy.
Yeah, so
Fozzie's the
show.
Muppet. Well, I'm looking at him too.
I'm just looking at you two.
Oh.
Waiting for the tune in or tune out.
I'm gonna have to give this a very disappointed tune out.
Yeah, that's a tune out for me, fam.
I had low expectations but high hopes for this. And yeah.
I had I was like, maybe this could be fun. It's like a fun title. No, sadly. Alas. All right, well, that's the TV Gauntlet. We've survived.
Wow. Wait, have we survived?
I don't know how, but we. Oh, I don't know. We have to rank we have to rank them in order, don't we?
Okay, so which ones did we tune into?
Only Brave New World, which I didn't even tune into.
Okay, so I mean that's got to be our top rank.
Yeah, and I think the Capture has to be the bottom.
Well, except that I tuned in on it, so it doesn't make sense.
Oh.
The bottom is probably like Warrior Nun.
I guess it's Warrior Nun, and I guess Hightown is third place?
Yeah, congratulations to the Capture for being number 2.
I don't know if the Capture should be number 2, considering 2 out of 3 of us tuned out on it.
Yeah, but one of us did, and neither of us tuned in on the other ones.
Oh. I knew I should have tuned in on Hightown. Damn it.
Fine, put Hightown in number 2, like an egomaniac.
No, it's too late. I tuned out on Hightown.
So before we lock this in and see if we're destined to victory or doomed for failure, we're at 100 episodes, and I felt like it was time to do some statistics. Everyone loves statistics, right?
Yeah, this sounds like a fun bit.
Is this allowed?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, so we have watched 99 programs on the show, not counting the Christmas episodes and our retrospectives.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 99 episodes, we have watched... I'll start from best to worst in terms of ratio. All of the shows that I'm listing, we have watched we've watched 3 or more programs for. The 2 shows with the best rankings are HBO, which has a 6 out of 8 shows that we've tuned in on.
HBO we need to get harsher.
Yeah, it's the high quality mark. The second, which also has technically the same ratio but less shows, is AMC, which has a 3 out of 4. 2 of those are Better Call Saul, so it feels a little like cheating. But hey, when you got a show that good, you deserve recognition.
Earned.
Yeah, I think it's earned. I think it's deserved. Next on the list is Amazon, which got a 3 out of 7.
That's a precipitous drop.
It's pretty... Yeah, it's pretty telling because when we did this on episode 50, Amazon was like really high on the list. And since then has not picked it up.
The streaming services have not been good. The streaming wars have not been good for any of us.
No, not at all. Next up, we have Showtime, which has a 1 out of 3. So not great, but could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Could definitely be worse. There's also the BBC, which has a 1 out of 3. Sci-Fi, which has a 1 out of 3. And I guess that's it for 1 out of 3s. There's also our good pal CBS, which has 1 out of 6.
Yikes! What do we tune in on CBS?
Oddly enough, Twilight Zone.
Oh boy, that didn't age well.
Oh
no,
I
it
hope
did
I don't
not.
ever talk to past self.
Yeah. Now the big one that I think everyone was waiting for here, since Netflix, we've done the most Netflix shows because they released the most. 31 of our 100 of our 99 TV shows that we've watched have been from Netflix.
Wow.
Insane.
8 have been tune-ins.
Wow, that's not good.
It's abysmal. Now for the ones that we've watched more than 3 of, but we've never gotten a tune-in. NBC, 0 for 3.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Oh, tracks. DC Universe, 0 for 4.
Oof. Dang, we're brutal.
The bat is broken.
Fuck Batman. And last but, probably least, Hulu, 0 for 3.
I think DC Universe is last.
Technically, because it has 1 more, but yeah, Hulu is also not doing great on that. So yeah, those are the streaming. That's all of the stuff we've watched in general, statistics-wise. Our overall total, 33 out of 99 shows. So about 1/3 are tune-ins.
So TV that's a pass. That's a fail.
Yeah, TV overall has failed us.
Yeah, I guess overall TV has failed us is what we learned from this. But 1/3 of TV being good makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
That tracks for me.
That's even better than I thought, actually, because most TV that's on the TV, on the television screen on my TV, I'm going to tune out on that, right?
Yeah, I turn on the TV and I look at it and I go, ugh!
It's usually something dumb like Family Guy.
Yeah, who wants to watch that or listen to a podcast about it?
Yeah, only blithering morons.
Yeah.
And
so yeah,
from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Getting a little specific there, huh?
Yeah, weird shot.
Oh.
So yeah, that's it for the statistics. And listen, are we fine with that order that we came up with? Let's say it one more time for me, Keo.
I think the first one was Brave New World,
which is that's right.
Yes,
and
that's
then
correct.
The Capture, and then
Unfortunately,
and then Hightown, and then Warrior Nun.
All right, sir, or madam, or whoever you may be. That's our official.
Are you God?
It's our official order.
I am not God, but I have deemed you unworthy.
No!
What?
Oh God,
Your list is
we're
wrong.
gonna die.
Wait, hold on. What's the correct order?
Don't worry about that.
No, I'm very curious. I would love to know.
Before we die, please, just let us...
The Capture was clearly at the bottom.
Oh.
Yes!
Oh, damn it.
That's it? That's all we got wrong?
Yes.
Oh my God. Alright, well...
Yeah, this is all my fault, but I
somehow I feel like this is my fault because it is.
Swanson, before we die, I'm really sorry about stealing your car.
When did you do that?
When your car went missing?
That was you?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The CCTV footage showed Stairmaster taking my car.
What?
Yeah! I can't believe you didn't believe me.
Is this a bit?
No, this actually happened. For realsies.
Continue.
Okay, and Stairmaster, I'm really sorry for all that emotional abuse I've been putting you through for the past 5 years.
I'm sorry for accepting Keo's money offer to take the blame for it.
And I have nothing to apologize for.
That's right.
Now that is all finished, I sentence you to banishment in Denver.
Denver!
What? Oh, that's worse than death!
A new city for a new era of TV tuners?
Oh my god.
Wow!
Well, I guess that's it for this 100th episode of TV Tuners. We hoped you liked it. Stick around on Thursday for our Bleach cast, and we'll be back next week for more TV goodness. Until then, bye! It's over.
I can't believe Elm's dead.
Hey folks, time for the TV Tuners fact of the 100th episode. Did you know that Stairmaster is actually the mayor of Denver?
That's right.
My plan is working. I'm back. It's me, Ella. You thought I died earlier in the episode. But, in fact, I faked my own death. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? No one has ever survived the city of Denver. I thought I'd mention that, because reasons. And you may be asking yourself, why, Ella, do you sound like this now, with that accent, and that horrible, computer-sounding voice? Well, the fact of the matter is, this is my real voice. I am evil, and I have been deceiving you. Now, I must tell you a piece of information that will shatter your world. The Gauntlet, which you have been run through, it was all my contrivance.